Lesson, what we're going to learn is whether, when you're multiplying fractions or anything else really, whether your answer is going to be bigger than that number, smaller than that number, or equal to that number. And it's actually pretty simple if you know what you're looking for. So if you take a look at this problem right here, I have 7/8 times 3/5, and we're wondering if it would be greater than, less than, or equal to 3/5. So what we have to do is we have to take a look at what 3/5 is being multiplied by. And in this case, it's being multiplied by 7/8. Now, any normal fraction, and what I mean by a normal fraction, the smaller number is in the numerator at the top. Any normal fraction is always smaller than 1. So 1/4, 1/8, 99 100ths, it doesn't matter. Any fraction is less than 1. And whenever you multiply by anything that's less than 1, your answer is going to be smaller. So in this case, 7/8 times 3/5 is going to be less than 3/5 because you're multiplying by something smaller than 1. In the next case here, we have 7 times 9/10 will be either greater than, less than, or equal to 9/10. So let's see what they're multiplying 9/10 by. This time they're multiplying by a whole number, 7. Well, 7's quite a bit bigger than 1 whole. So if I multiply 9/10 times something bigger than 1, then my answer is going to be greater than, I don't have room for that, greater than 9/10. Let's look at the next one. 6/11 times 1 will be blank for 6/11. So we're looking at greater than, less than, or equal to. Well, we got to see what are we multiplying 6/11s by. Well, in this case, we're multiplying by 1. And according to the identity property of multiplication, or just a basic rule that you know, anytime you multiply by 1, whatever it is going to stay the same. So in this case, 6/11 times 1 will be equal to 6/11. Now on this one we have 5 times 1/3 will be what to 1/3? Well, if I look at that, what are we multiplying 1/3 by? 5. Is that less than 1, bigger than 1, or equal to 1? It's bigger. So 5 times 1/3 will be greater than 1/3. Let's take a look at a story problem here. Peter is planning on spending 2/3 as many hours watching television this week as he did last week. Is Peter going to spend more hours or fewer hours watching television this week? Now, I know some people will read this and say, well, we don't know how much he watched last week. It doesn't matter in this particular instance because we know that we're multiplying times 2/3 because we want to know 2/3 as many hours. So whether it was 1 hour last week, 26 hours last week, half an hour last week, no matter what, we're multiplying by 2/3 in this instance. So that means that we're going to be watching fewer hours because no matter what it is, we're multiplying by something less than 1. That's the lesson today about how to figure out whether your answer is going to be greater than, less than, or equal to, just by looking at if what you're multiplying by is bigger than 1, smaller than 1, or equal to 1.